Hello there. So this is gonna be just sort of like a blabbing video where I'm all over the place. So prepare yourselves for that. And I don't know what's gonna be going on in the background of this video. So I won't be talking about whatever it is I'm building today. I'm gonna be doing that after this voiceover because I just need to update you on a few things. So the first thing I need to say is welcome if you're new, all of the new people. This is one thing I want to talk about because it's a little overwhelming, but I'll get there in a bit. But the main point of this video is going to be that I wanted to update you on my files that you can download because I finally managed to do it. So I'm gonna go through that. But I also just want to sort of explain that I don't know. I just feel like I've had such a chaotic week. Do you ever have weeks where you're like, oh, this week's been so chaotic, but then you actually think about what you've done and it's not been very much. It's just that what's actually the case is that you're just a really chaotic person, and that's why the week feels chaotic. That's the kind of week that I've had, and there's a few reasons. I'll go through them. But like I said, I have uploaded some files finally. People have been asking for weeks. I don't know that I kept replying and being like, yeah, really soon, and then it's like, where are they then? But I had I had problems. So I wanted to upload my files with the CC baked into them, so that because I didn't want people downloading the files, and because I use quite a bit of CC and sometimes some mods, that they be downloaded and they not work, and I just wanted it to be as easy as possible for anyone who wants to download any of my builds. So I had this plan that I'm gonna upload the tray files. I'm using the Sims tray, what's it called? The Sims 4 tray importer, which is a sort of third-party software thing, but is really good. It sort of helps you pull your tray files out and like upload them, and it imports tray files for people as well. So it's really sort of streamlined. I mean, I know it's streamlined now. I figured it out. At first, was I a complete pleb who couldn't use it? Yep, that was problem number one, but we'll get there. So yeah, that was my intention, that you'd be able to just download this single file, use the tray importer. It would have all of the CC baked into it, so you wouldn't need to bother about installing any of it. It would just do it for you, and you could load up the game, and it would work. Okay, so hurdle number one came, and that was me trying to figure out how the hell you use the tray importer. Because I'm good at doing things that are creative in creative software. But if you take me out of that and try and make me do anything to do with like any other kind of file types, any other kind of software, I am a complete noob. I don't understand it. And I'm stupid as well, because I'm basically surrounded by a bunch of people who work in IT who I could ask for help. But do I ask them for help? No, because I'm very stubborn. I will just slam my head against a wall until I figure out how something works. So that's me. That's why I'm stupid. But I eventually figured it out. But initially I was like exporting files and the CC wasn't in it, and I was testing it on a different computer and it wasn't working properly, and it was all my fault for being stupid, but I got there. So I was like, finally I have these tray files. That's great. What I hadn't thought of is where I'm going to upload them. So I looked into that and I found the Sims file share, which is a commonly used one that people use to upload files to, that you can just go onto, download it from there, easy peasy. When I went to finally make an account on the Sims file share, I didn't realize that you have to like request an account, or you have to use a referral code invite. So I just like loaded this up completely set on being like, here we go, I'll easily make an account right now. And then the site said, no, we don't work like that. So I then sent an application to get an account on the Sims file share. And they only reply by email on like 2 days of the week. I can't remember which 2 days it was, but I was checking and 2 weeks went by and I hadn't had a response. So I was like, damn. And then after that, my friend actually helped me, who I think went and just found like an invite code. So yeah, that was a delay. Anyway, that hurdle finally got passed. I have my Sims file share account. I go to upload one of my tray files that I've exported and tested works correctly. It's 3.5 gigabytes. And I drag it to upload it, and the Sims file share tells me that there is a limit of 500 megabytes. So of course, here was another hurdle. The problem was when I get CC, I download CC packs, not individual items. And for my ease of sorting them in my files, I don't download them individually. I just download the single merged file. So the problem was when I was then exporting my builds, say it has like one item from one pack, another item from another pack, instead of individually adding all of those items, the exporter was adding the entire pack. So I was exporting these files that have like multiple entire packs added to them, making the file sizes up to like 3.5 gigabytes. So it's helpful for me to download them merged because I can keep track of my CC better. But clearly, if I'm going to do this thing of exporting them with the CC baked in, I need to go and re-download everything unmerged so that the files will be smaller. Now, that is my long-term plan. However, at this point, I was just like, oh my god, I've waited far too long. I keep telling people that I'm going to upload some of my builds soon. They aren't up there. I need to do something. So I've come up with a short-term solution. And it's not the best, but it's what I've come up with for now, just so I can get something up there that people can download, that you can download if you want to. My solution is I am going to upload the tray files without the CC baked into them. And what I've done is for each build, I've uploaded a separate PDF file with all of the links to the CC used in that build. So I had to go through all of my CC and make a catalog of it. And then I had to type that CC in and find the original site where each piece comes from so I can post that hyperlink into the PDF file so that there's just a little bit of extra work if you want to download my build, where you just have to look at this PDF file, check if you have what's in it, and if you don't, you can just click on the link for each one and download it. As I said, I don't think that's long-term sustainable, but I've done it for now. I've done it for my previous 3 builds, so they are up there. The links will be in the description. You can get them now, but like I said, I'm gonna have to just, moving forward, go through and like replace all of my CC with the unmerged ones. So that's the first thing I wanted to tell you about, update you about. The second thing this week that has completely thrown me out of whack is, so I was slowed down, and I was slowed down because I got a bit overwhelmed this week. Originally, after I posted my mental health build, I felt a bit deflated because, so basically I went through this train of thought where I was like, you know what, I've been doing a lot of like branded builds, shop builds, community lots, etc, etc. I want to do something a bit different, and I want to do something that like is a bit more of a like, obviously I enjoy doing that stuff, but I was just like, I don't want to constantly always just be doing that. I want to do something a bit different, and I'm really passionate about like mental health and environment, and how like environment affects our psychology and things like that. Is something I have to think about sort of daily in my life because I'm very affected by environments and colors and things like that. So I wanted to do this build that is like there's a mental health build, and I uploaded it. I even did like a slightly different thumbnail style because it was me doing something a bit different. But after I uploaded it, I felt a bit deflated because I was like, I've been told you can't really do anything different on YouTube. Even the slightest thing different you do is sort of like self-sabotage of your channel. But I was like, I just want to do this. But I uploaded it and I expected that it had been a mistake to do that. And I dived too quickly into doing something a bit different. And then the complete opposite happened, which I hadn't mentally prepared for. So I went from feeling like, oh, I shouldn't have done this video, to it basically just dethroning my Aldi video. And I hadn't prepared that the traffic would increase on my channel, and I'm obviously very grateful and very happy about that. But the thing about me is that because I'm absolute bonkers, if I haven't planned for something or expected something that then happens, my brain I cannot process it. I just freeze. My brain just froze. It just froze. I just didn't know how to process it because I hadn't expected it. And that slowed me right down this week. I need to stress that like I'm very grateful and welcome if you're new. Thank you very much. I've had some really nice interactions with people, but I can't help it that I'm bonkers, and it still throws me completely out of whack and sync if something happens that I didn't expect. And then aside from that, a third thing happened, and this one's got it's really nothing to do with The Sims. But aside from like my usual, I don't know if is anyone else like this, that I just wake up each day and I'm like, is World War III going to start today? Because I sort of just expect it any day now. So yeah, each day I get up, and it's part of my routine when I get up is I have my coffee and I put the news on YouTube and like see like, is the world ended today? And when it's not, I'm like, well, maybe tomorrow it will, like, so I'll get to do the same thing tomorrow. So, I don't want to be so negative, I know I'm so like morose, But that's what I do. I get up and I'm like, what's the world like today? And I got up, and instead of having all of these like update videos on the news that I sort of get pushed to me on YouTube, they were all about UFOs. And I don't know if anyone else has had this, but I've just been like, all of a sudden, I'm like, it's like the aliens are coming. I'm like, well, when? I'm so sorry, what? when did this happen? When was that? I wasn't warned that this was in the pipeline. You know, there's a lot of things like bad things that I've expected might be coming on the horizon, but the aliens coming is a bit of a, you know, that's a plot twist, and that really interested me, and I had to learn more about it. And as soon as I'm like, well, I don't really understand this and I need to learn more about it, I will just hyperfixate on that. I will just watch all of the videos on it. I need to know, I need to find out. So I sort of had a little bit of a day where I was just maybe a bit too deep in the rabbit hole of are the aliens coming? And what I can tell you about this is that we don't call them UFOs anymore because it's not very inclusive. We call them UAPs because that includes the UFOs that like to swim instead of fly, and it stands for Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena, which is like, why? That is not easy to say, is it? It's UAPs, which I personally think it is nice if you I just like to call them WAPs. So anyway, that really distracted me, and I had to figure out how I feel about this. And I sort of came to the conclusion that if the aliens do come, I feel like we need that kind of reset. I don't know. I want to go with them and see what they have to say. That's just so that, like I said, that was nothing to do with my video, but that's one thing that slowed me down this week. Okay, so all of those things aside, what's my plan moving forward? I've sorted out sort of the tray file situation. But I just wanted to discuss a bit, like, if you go back in my channel to the first month, I was uploading like every other day. And I don't want anyone to think like, oh, he's sort of uploading maybe like every 3 days, every 4 days now. Is he getting exhausted? Is he getting tired? Blah, 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 blah. No, that's not the case. So what I figured out is that in the first month, I was overdoing it a bit because I was figuring out, you know, how to do this YouTube thing. And I've sort of found a balance now. And my balance is that I want to make videos that are quality over quantity. And so I'm going to take a little bit longer, probably, you know, not because doing that every other day thing was like I could do it, but I was just hyper focused on doing that. And I need to build in, number one, I need to build in that like I don't want to kill my creativity. I want to be doing things that I want to do. I want to do things that are quality, are like sort of what I think are more unique ideas to other things that are on YouTube. So I want to do those kind of things which take me just, you know, like a little bit longer. And I also have realized that I should probably just build in a little extra time for the inevitable daily mishaps that just cause me to freeze. It's because, like, you know, one day, like, maybe my dog's just randomly been sick on the floor while I'm in the middle of doing something, and it will just throw me out of sync for hours, like, because I didn't expect that was going to happen. So I've just built that in a bit too. I'm just being a bit more realistic on how to progress, you know, in this YouTube thing in a sustainable way. So I think I'm being quite sensible about it, but I just wanted to let you know that, yeah, that's why the videos are a little bit less frequent, but I'm trying to make them, you know, like higher quality, a bit more unique, blah, blah, blah. So that's how I plan to continue at this point. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is later on today, I am going to the zoo, so I'm going to record a video. I'm going to the zoo. I go every year for this like winter light show thing. So if at some point a random Planet Zoo video pops up, it's because I've been to the zoo and I need to get the zoo processed in my head via playing Planet Zoo. So just so you are aware. And like I said, I'm a builder, I'm a simmer, blah, 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 blah. So maybe I'll dip into other things at some point. I don't know. I'm still figuring out where my channel is. I'm very small, new channel. I started this 2 months ago. I'm very grateful for all of you here. But as I said, be patient with me. I'm still sort of figuring out how all of this works, and you know, I'm getting there bit by bit. So in conclusion, oh, look at me doing like a whole presentation. I could never do a presentation in school because I used to just get so much anxiety at standing up in front of people. Anyway, in conclusion, I have some tray files that are in the description, and I think I have a sort of sustainable way of giving access to my next lot of builds once I've sort of re-downloaded all my mods. Thank you to everyone who's new, and to all of you who are still here, thank you very much. I have plans for my next bunch of videos that I'm going to crack on with. I have like a few different ideas. I want to do something for 1,000 subs too. That just blew up on me. I had absolutely no plan for that whatsoever, but I want to figure something out. And bring on the UFOs. Sorry, the UAPs. So that's just what I wanted to say today. And here's my finished thing. Whatever it is. I don't know what it is. I've not done it yet. But I hope it's nice. But thank you very much for watching / listening. Be kind to yourselves. And I will see you in the next one.